and a surprise to even myself, here we are at video number 2. Still no closer to figuring out exactly why I, and probably maybe you too, suck at Age of Empires 2. So, let's get you some education. Who edited this? Today, we're going to talk about how to set up a base. Yeah, not that kind. Now, I know what you're wondering. How exactly should you set up a base? So, to answer this big and burning question, I went directly to the reigning expert on answering Age of Empires questions, T90.
So to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, that doesn't help. But thanks, I guess. So, how should you set up your base? Well, it depends. So, I'll just end the video here. Instead of giving you useless answers, let me try my best to break it down for you. There are a few main things you really need to consider when you're setting your base up, namely wood, gold, and stone, and of course the hills. Wood is really important in the early game, so take some time to think carefully about your wood.
Can you show Liereyy's wood there?
You mean Liereyy's wood, yeah. That's his wood, the forest line.
Yeah, the forest.
The forest trees.
You should ask yourself 2 questions. Can I easily protect this position by walling to my town center or with military buildings? And can my opponent put a tower behind this wood line? Think about your options carefully, and then just pick the one that's closest to your town center. Also, while on the topic of wood lines, remember to place your lumber camp and mills directly on top of the resource for maximum efficiency, and your gold and stone mines 1 tile away for maximum saturation.
Look at the saturation on this gold mine, it's insane.
Now look at your stones. Are they together or apart? Are they forward or back? If your stones are apart from each other, you've got nothing to worry about. If they're together though, you've got a tower rush to worry about. Make sure you're prepared and scout your opponent early so you know whether they're going to go for it or not. Now look at your golds. Which of the 3 of them is most easy for you to protect? Go to that one first, worry about the rest later by putting TCs on them in the castle age. Now let's take a look at the map's elevation. A hill at the front of your base is very bad because it provides a position for your opponent to push you from. Prioritize putting your buildings on top of those hills and defending it with your army to stop your opponent from taking them and getting the hill bonus against you. Remember, every building you place acts like a wall, so make sure to use that to your advantage to help you defend. It's best to try and wall one side of your base completely rather than haphazardly placing walls, because you know that if your opponent goes to that side, you're completely safe from being attacked. In Feudal Age, protecting your woodline is really important, so try to prioritize walling that area up first, unless it's somewhere like in the back of your base and is more or less safe without walls. Then, moving to Castle Age, gold and stone become more important, so start thinking about them then. When you get into Castle Age and you're ready to put some TCs down, try to get one protecting a gold spot and one that protects a woodline. A common mistake that I tend to see when moving into Castle Age is players not expanding their base. Try putting TCs outside of your walls, even going forward with them a little bit, if it's safe of course. Doing so will give you more space for your buildings and farms in the future, which is really important, and it gives you a lot of map control, which is something we can talk about a little bit later. Of course, you should put your TCs in front of the resources rather than behind them, that way it can more easily protect the resource from ranged units. Now, really quick, let's jump into a single player game and I'll show you exactly what I mean firsthand.
Alright, here we are. So I'm going to go ahead and put my lumber camp back there, and I'm going to use my ranges to wall off the front a little bit. I'm going to go to this golds, and I'm going to go ahead and wall the side of my base all the way closed, with lots of room to wall behind. And notice how I'm blocking off one side completely. I'm going to build my town center here, and notice how I'm placing it in front of the gold rather than behind it there. Now, their TC is going to go up, and maybe I'll think about walling behind here, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and place a forward castle right on top of that hill to protect my extra 2 resources. And with that, I've set up my base perfectly.
Well, we're back. After far too long, I'm finally done talking, so I'll just end the video here. Amazing Learn.